We've got to talk about iPads and what the heck Apple is gonna do with them because they just announced the brand new Apple Pencil 3 and wait a second. Oh, it's the Apple Pencil 2. That's what I meant to say. Wait, dang it. We've already had this one for 5 years. Oh, okay. It's the Apple Pencil USB-C. There you go, I got it. Anyway, let's talk about iPads or the new 11th gen model, which we didn't get. Even though we just got the new Apple Pencil, which means that we're unlikely to see it get released this year because they would have released them at the same time. Now I know what you're gonna say, we just got a brand new major iPad redesign with this iPad 10, so there's really no point in releasing another update. But that's actually not true. In 2020, Apple updated the basic iPad with only one noticeable change, an upgrade from the A10 chip to the A12, and that was enough for them to warrant a new iPad update. On top of that, for the past 6 years, they've updated this basic iPad every single year without skipping a beat. So why would they not do that this year and simply give us a USB-C Apple Pencil? Well, I think I know why. But before I explain it, I want to go through what the heck happened with all of these iPad leaks, as well as if we're actually going to be seeing a new iPad mini 7 and iPad Air 6 this year, or not. Over the past week, we've had quite a few publications talking about brand new iPads coming out this week, including the new iPad 11, and they unfortunately were all wrong. So in that case, who was right? Well, we do have Ming-Chi Kuo from the very beginning back in September saying that there are no new iPads likely launching this year. Now, when I first heard that, it was extremely hard to believe. I thought he was completely wrong because this seems so un-Apple to have a year where you have no iPads at all. And it's weird because this would be the first time ever in the history of the iPad with no iPad updates within that year. So basically my thoughts on that were that Ming-Chi Kuo is wrong, and I still, to this day, don't know if I actually believe him because it just doesn't make sense for Apple to do this. Now, what did make a little bit more sense was a leaker from Weibo back in September saying that only the iPad Air should be getting updated this year. And I completely agree because we should be getting this Air for a couple of different reasons. But before I get into that, I've gotta show you this, the modern replacement for my old bulky wallet, the Ridge wallet. It's the thinnest wallet I could find that can hold all of my cards, up to 12 plus cash, with over 30 plus durable colors and styles, all with RFID blocking materials and a lifetime guarantee. You can even get 30% off your order if you buy a matching key case, which holds up to 6 keys to keep them from jingling. Just go to ridge.com/maxtech and use my code MAXTECH for 10% off your order. Thanks Ridge for sponsoring the channel. Now back to the video. First of all, Apple released the last couple of iPad Airs on a 1.5-year timeline, opposite from the iPad Pro. And since we're expecting to get that as soon as the spring of next year, that would mean that this fall is the perfect time because it's basically 1.5 years since the previous iPad Air. And then now for reason number 2, we're all expecting the iPad Air to get a very simple update with the M2 chip, which importantly must come before the launch and reveal of the M3 chip, which we were expecting this fall for many months, but now it looks like that's getting delayed as well. Apparently, Ming-Chi Kuo also said that there's gonna be no MacBooks for the rest of this year, and I completely didn't believe him because it doesn't make sense, but now that we're getting into October and just the leaks aren't there, it's starting to look like the case. So if the iPad Air isn't coming this year with the M2 chip, then when the heck is the M3 chip gonna get revealed? The summer of next year? That's just crazy because that would be the biggest gap between M chip releases since the original M1. So far, it's been exactly a year and a half because we had the M1 in November of 2021. A year and a half later, we had the M2 in the summer of 2022. And now the fall is perfectly a year and a half. And no, it looks like it's actually getting delayed. But with that said, I'm still holding on to hope for an M2 iPad Air maybe next month. And that's of course because we didn't get an iPad this week, and instead we got a new Apple Pencil USB-C, which Steve Moser leaked on X within iPadOS 17.1 beta software, as well as Mac Otakara, who correctly predicted the Pencil is coming instead of an iPad. And of course, we also have Mark Gurman's leak, who himself said we are unlikely to get any new iPads this month at all, and it looks like the GOAT is right again. So with that said, are we still gonna be seeing some new iPads this year, or is Apple literally gonna do exactly what Ming-Chi Kuo said and give us no new iPad updates for the first time in the iPad's history? Well, once again, in terms of the iPad Air 6, I really think that this one should be coming. I don't think they can delay it because of the M3 chip reveal. There's just gonna be too much things going on early next year with that. So I really hope it's coming, hopefully later next month. But as far as the iPad Mini 7, Apple has actually had huge gaps between different iPad mini models in the past, and they could totally do this again because the iPad Mini 6 is honestly amazing. It's so good, I actually bought it for my family and my kids really enjoy it. But then again, they could wait until the Air gets released if it's getting delayed and kind of release both of them at the same time. Because there is a chance that Apple delays everything this time around more than we expected. They could delay the M3 reveal even longer. They could delay the M3 iPad Pro until the fall. Who knows, maybe even delay the high-end M3 Pro and M3 Max MacBook Pros until like, I don't know, 2025? No, I mean, that sounds too crazy, but who knows? Apple's delaying everything. So the big question is, why would Apple delay everything so much in such an odd way? Well, my biggest reason that I can think of is actually an economic downturn that we're getting into right now. Smartphone sales have been dropping all over the place, especially for Android phones, and even the new iPhone 15 lineup, those sales have been going down in China compared to last year, which is really weird because this is a pretty nice iPhone 15 upgrade. On top of that, Mac sales are dropping. They're down 23% globally compared to last year, doing even worse than all of the other mainstream PC brands, with brands like HP that are actually growing. Why? Well, because they sell really cheap laptops and PCs. So it seems like there's currently a tech recession, particularly for the highest end premium tech brands, and people right now are trending towards holding on to their current devices right now and waiting to upgrade. So if Apple goes ahead and releases new products as usual, there is definitely gonna be less upgrade demand for them, so what's the point? They could just keep selling the current ones and they could save all of these new updates until the economy starts to hopefully recover sometime next year. That's when people are gonna start buying again. And that's actually why I think Apple gave us such a lackluster Mac Pro update without any of the new big rumored features that we were looking into, especially swapping out the GPU cards, custom GPUs, all of that. Nothing happened at all. They gave us a very, very simple M2 Ultra Mac Pro update. So right now, it's very clear that businesses and startups are in cost-cutting mode since interest rates have skyrocketed and it's a lot more difficult and expensive to get new capital and cash for investment. So if Apple releases a top-notch, new, very expensive Mac Pro, less businesses will be buying, since they're actually choosing right now to instead lay people off and save cash. So anyway, what we're seeing this year with the lack of iPad updates and other new updates could be related to the economy more than anything else. But I'm still here hoping on at least a new iPad Air 6 with the M2 chip coming sometime later this year. But that would of course mean that Ming-Chi Kuo would be wrong, and he's been pretty dang good with his timeline and leaks. So there you guys go. Those are my thoughts on the 2023 iPad leaks and what's gonna be happening. Of course, this new Apple Pencil USB-C, craziest name, such a weird situation, especially since it doesn't have pressure sensitivity and doesn't support wireless magnetic charging. Such a weird product, but I guess it makes sense for the $79 price tag. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you can subscribe above and definitely check out that video right there talking about this new Apple Pencil USB-C and everything you need to know about it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.